Hello, this is Dr. G again from naturalfoodsdiet.org. I catch a lot of flack from my colleagues who put me down for treating illnesses or practicing prevention by placing patients on the diet of our ancestors. I recommend exercise as therapy, and I use herbs and other natural remedies like vitamins and minerals instead of drugs. Now, I often hear from these colleagues, we practice evidence-based medicine, not that quack-based natural medicine crap you do. They're pretty smug and they look down on me like I'm practicing in the Dark Ages. But my question to them has always been, is the evidence in which you base your evidence-based medicine really reliable? Another question might be, is it really the truth? Now, lucky for me, there's a very bright doctor who was a math and statistics prodigy that became a physician, and he had the same question. Now, I want you to know this isn't just another one of those natural medicine quacks, as this guy was firmly established in the regular allopathic medicine paradigm, and he was working at institutions like Johns Hopkins and the NIH. Now, after his training, according to an article that I read in the Atlantic magazine, Dr. Nitez asked himself, how good is the evidence on which we base our medical treatments? Now, initially, he said he set out to prove that what doctors did was backed up by the evidence. But what did he actually find? Well, his first report was published in the 2005 issue of PLOS ONE. To make a long story short, what he found was just the opposites of his expectations. Now, he estimates that 90% of the published medical research is flawed, and he and his team found that most of the time the research was misleading, exaggerated, or just plain wrong. Now, much research, especially the drug company funded research, is riddled with conflicts of interest. But even other studies with other funding, there's what he termed an intellectual conflict of interest. And this is where the researcher is pressured to find whatever it is that is most likely to get him funded. Now, research is a cutthroat business, and to get published, you have to play the game. Now, studies that garner a headline are way more likely to be published. Let's say, opposed to a study that just shows the truth. Now, how many studies can you think of that go one way and then later on they come back and say, never mind? This is actually the best of both worlds for the researcher, because first they get a headline for the claim, and then they get another headline for renouncing it. Some examples: aspirin was good, then it was bad. Mammograms saved lives. Well, on second thought, no they don't. PSA tests help save lives. Never mind. We need all people with elevated blood pressure on blood pressure medications because it will save millions of lives. On second thought, it doesn't really matter. Now, treatments with statin drugs will prevent coronary artery plaque progression. On second thought, it actually hastens it. Now, based on research, a half dozen drugs to treat depression have been approved by the FDA. What do we find out? Placebo works just as well. Well, we know fish oil protects the heart. Next study, forget about it. Now, aren't researchers supposed to pursue the truth no matter what the truth may be? Now, it's interesting to see that the response of academic medicine to that first article published by Nitez back in 2005. Established medicine actually embraces this doctor with open arms. In fact, his schedule is packed with high-powered speeches at major medical meetings that are sponsored by the most prestigious medical school and medical organizations. Now, you might ask, well, that's odd. And I can tell you the reason. In my opinion, somehow it takes a load off your conscience. If you're a researcher or a physician stuck in this flawed system, you're actually comforted by the fact that it's the system that's evil, and you really aren't to blame. And the treatments that the doctors use on patients is based on biased research studies that are more often than not wrong. So the bottom line for me, and I suggest that this be true for you as well, at this point, we cannot depend upon medical research to give us true answers. Now, until our scientists and physicians can learn to pursue the truth, no matter what the truth may be, we're better off going backwards in time and seeing what is provided by nature. We should examine our lifestyle. Now, lifestyle is clearly the front line for prevention and treatment of disease. Now, in an emergency or in a life-threatening condition, I would listen to your doctor for treatment options, but I would be skeptical and always get a second opinion. Now, this is Dr. G. If you like this kind of health information, please subscribe to our channel and check out the transcript that will be posted at naturalfoodsdiet.org.